Hello. Wrong screen. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Justin, a.k.a. Demonic Sweaters, here with another live stream. And I know it's a little bit... it's been a while since my last live stream. Not a little bit. Been a while. And today I have a special guest. And it's going to be a good one. And my special guest is Enbw, who you saw there in the intro. And Ian is a Canadian young musician. Canadian young musician from Canada. I was going to say that, but anyway, he's from Canada. And he's released his first full-length album at only 14 years old. And I think that is really amazing. He recorded, and produced the whole thing himself. You heard a little clip of it right there. And major upgrade. Yeah, well, the hair, it looks weirder because of the backlight. So it's, at least that's the excuse I'm giving from my window back there. Once Ian gets on the screen, we can talk about his hair too, because he think he just got a haircut. What was I saying? Anyway, he's 14 years old. He produced and recorded and released his own full-length album that you can stream digitally, which is going to be available tonight at midnight. And he's going to be joining me here very shortly, I would say in the next 2 minutes probably, in the Zoom call. But yeah, I just think it's really, amazing. When I was 14, I was playing in bands and stuff, but, well, when I was 14, we didn't even have computers that could record, because I'm that old. But, I think even if we did, I don't know if I would have, recorded it and released a full-length album when I was 14. So I think it's really, really impressive. And I've met Ian actually because of YouTube, because of my videos on the Alesis Nitro Mesh. He found me through those, and he purchased one as well. And that's how I met a lot of people, actually. That and the Tama Club Jam Flyer, I keep making friends because of those, or not the Flyer, the Mini, well, both of them. I keep making friends because of those drum sets. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. I met him on YouTube and been following him on Instagram and his YouTube channel ever since. And he's just a really, really hard worker and is really, really just passionate about music and producing stuff, and just is constantly working on stuff. And I really, really think it's amazing, especially being so young, and just to have that kind of dedication to making music and art. It's very cool. So, and Ian should be coming on here. Maybe I should have my Instagram chat open in case he's sending me a message. Let me look at my phone. So, no, nothing right now. So, hopefully oh, wait. I'm in the wrong account. Okay, no. So, he'll be coming on here pretty soon. Hopefully, I'm not missing a notification or anything. Oh, wait. Am I? I'm a noob at Zoom. I actually, I prefer Skype. Oh, here he goes. Here we go. I'll hold that thought. Okay, so Ian's on his way in here. And hopefully the screen behaves the way I want it to. It's weird, for some reason it never wants to change, to the active speaker.
I'm a noob at Zoom.
Maybe it will. Okay. Oh, Ian, you're gonna have to mute your speakers there.
Yeah, they're muted now.
Okay.
I don't know if my camera's doing anything right now.
Not yet.
Can you see me?
Not yet.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay.
There.
Can you see me now? Hello.
So when you said you got a haircut, I guess you got a full-blown style, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people wanted it to not be a haircut, so I decided for 25 seconds, I will let them have my long hair. So,
oh, man,
and this is what it actually looks like now. So it's not.
Oh, okay.
I like it.
No, it's cool. It's very punk. Nice, man. Well, that was funny. You looked like Garth from Wayne's World.
Yeah, I actually cosplayed as him. We did a show in at a bar. It was like a family friendly event type thing, and I actually cosplayed as. Well, I told people I was cosplaying as me if I grew up in the '80s, but I was actually cosplaying as Garth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you do kind of have a Garth thing going on a little bit. Well, when your hair was fully long everywhere, it was more Garth, but now it's
yeah, for sure.
Now you're like the punk Garth. So yeah, I was giving everybody the intro, and just before we even get started here, everybody go down in the description. There's a link to Ian's YouTube channel, so go there and subscribe first off, and let's get him past. Because I know he was like 198 subscribers, and I think we could easily get him past 200 with everybody here on the stream. So go do that first, and and keep watching the stream. Open it in another tab. So let's talk about this album. That's like, how long have you been? Well, first off, how long have you been working on this? How long did it take you to do this album?
Sorry, 1 second. I just realized something. My mic might be picking up your signals because right now I'm not listening to it through headphones or whatever.
No, it's fine.
So it's fine?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Okay, cool.
Can you see the chat?
Cool.
Do you have a thing open where you can see the chat?
Yes, okay. I do. I just have my computer back here. I was watching the stream before it started.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'll just grab it.
And I'm just cracking open a cold iced coffee here.
Well, I actually got over here some physical copies of my album held up by some nice iced tea.
That's the back.
Yeah, it's the back. This is the front.
Okay, there we go. Nest tea.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, why don't you show us the album?
Okay, so it's nothing really special because I blew most of the budget on actually getting physical copies, to be honest. But yeah, so this is basically what it's gonna look like. It's burned on this little DVD drive I have by my computer, and then hand-drawn design with like signature and stuff. So it's kind of, it takes time. That's the biggest thing, that it just takes time to make.
Yeah. Well, that's the old school DIY, like punk rock method. That's how we always used to do it.
Sick, yeah.
Back in the day. Except we were doing it on cassettes, when I was 14. But same deal.
Yeah.
So, okay, your album, you played all the instruments?
Yeah, all the instruments and the vocals. Yeah, all played and mixed by me.
And you recorded it all at home?
Yeah. I actually started recording it right after I recorded my song 2020. So I did like 3 songs on my iPod, and then I bought a Mac, and all the mixes sounded like completely different. So I had to like redo everything, but it sounds much better on a computer. Yeah,
wow. But you were recording like just on an iPod originally?
Yeah, so funny story. One of my new songs that I remade, I knew nothing about music production. It was this song called Darling Jimothy. And I knew absolutely nothing about music production. So I got one of those a cappella apps, and I put it on my iPod. And then I just individually used my phone's camera mic and just the room and turned up all my stuff as high as it went. And then I just recorded part by part. But since it's an a cappella app and it's not meant for music production, everything was like off time by just a second, and it sounded just so bad. But yeah, for 2020, I recorded it with the GarageBand app on my iPod, and for like 3 songs, the beginning 3 songs on the album, I recorded also on my iPod. So, but those are just demos now. So
yeah, but I really love how you use what you have. Like, that's one of the cool things about you is you take advantage of the tools that you have around you. And I think that's really cool. Like, how did you, I mean, what would you say, like, I mean, I guess it was probably just the desire to want to do it. You know, you're like, I just have to figure out a way and I'll do it. But how did you approach that? Like, how did you figure out how to do what you were doing?
Honestly, YouTube videos, and honestly, a lot of your YouTube videos. Because so first of all, the biggest problem was for 2020, you can probably already tell, but I was just using like an automatic drum loop that people use for filler when they're working on a song and they don't have a drummer yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was using. And I didn't know what to do. Like, I could only just program drums. And since I'm like, biggest part of me is a drummer and I've been drumming for the most time, I'm like, well, I can't do this. I need to find something else to do. And the biggest problem was probably the drums. Because from the beginning, I used an iRig to record the guitar and bass and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it was okay. Like, it was an iRig too, so it was the more expensive unit. But yeah, it was okay. But I figured out how to use a Scarlett off YouTube, some friends on Instagram. I talked to some members along McQuaid, finally figured that out, bought it. I almost didn't get it because I bought it like I was going to a place for a show and they were going to meet me there before the show, and they ended up getting there during the show. But luckily my parents were like, all right, fine, we'll stay in the parking lot until this guy arrives. So yeah, it's mostly just YouTube because that's how artists learn stuff nowadays.
Yeah. How do you, when you're making the song, you know, because I know everybody approaches this stuff differently. What's the process? What's your order? Like, first off, are you using a click track? Are you recording drums first? Are you doing guitar first? Like, what's your start to finish currently, your setup now, how you're working? What would you say your order is?
So basically it's a click track, and then it's guitar, and then it's second guitar, like whatever a solo is, or like the second track to just add some more stuff in. And then it's bass, and then it's drums, and then everything ends off with vocals, and then it's like the final mix. So yeah, I don't know. As a drummer, it's weird because like you were talking about the other day, we were talking on Instagram about how like your drum parts are improvised, but like steadily. Mine do that too. So I can't really drum to a song and then follow it with guitar well. I have to start hearing the song drumless and then put the drums in. So the drums are like the second last thing to go in.
Yeah. A lot of times, yeah, I'll do that as well. Like it'll be one of the last things that I put in, just because I like to arrange the song first, you know, and have it all completed, and then I can come up with like some good drum parts. Do you like when you're recording? Do you write the song in full, or are you doing arrangements like in the recording?
I don't really write my songs like down, like coming up with parts and stuff, of course, but like I don't really write them down. They all just like.
But do you memorize them and stuff?
Yeah, but the words, like, it starts with writing the words, and then everything just comes after. Usually it's words, guitar, and like that's the writing process. And crap.
I think that's more like a real songwriter's approach, like because I'm always like, I have to write lyrics now. That's usually like how I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, but most people that like I know that are good songwriters, they do it that way. Like they start with lyrics and then kind of build a song around it. Not to say that you have to do it that way, but
I don't know why that makes it good. Just
I don't know if it does, but it's like, you know, I just know a lot of like Ronan, my friend Ronan, I consider him a really good songwriter, and he tends to work that way too. But you know, you talk to people like if you listen to interviews from like Kurt Cobain, he never had lyrics until like last minute. So you know, it just depends on the person, I guess. You know.
Really, I've never heard of that. Kurt Cobain wrote his all lyrics last minute. It makes sense because of like the kind of person that he was, but I never Never really heard that before.
Yeah, some of them he even wrote like in the studio, like like they were like, you know, he would have things that he said live, you know, and then like when they basically he'd write down the lyrics when he was forced to, you know, like at some point, you know, not always, but I think that happened on a lot of songs.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm learning here.
So, yeah, what else was I going to ask you? Well, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, just being so young, what got you interested in wanting to... Oh, well, before I even get into that, I also wanted to mention, like, your videos. Like, that's another thing that I've noticed you've made a lot of already, and your video production skills are definitely, I think, higher than the tools that you're using, at least on the older videos, because I could see you're using a lot of freeware and apps and things like that. But then yet you're still managing to pull off some really cool like editing tricks and stuff where I'm like, wow, how do you do that? You know, like there's this one thing you do where a lot of times I notice it looks like you're playing in high speed on the video, but you're still synchronized to the music at the correct speed. Like, what's that?
Yeah.
How are you doing that? How are you achieving that?
Okay, so it's actually pretty simple. I've been doing this since I was like really young. So me and my friends, or actually it was just my best friend Hilton. He's my drummer now, by the way. I'm gonna check him out. But anyway, yeah, me and him used to go over to each other's house, and every single time we'd come over, we'd both have this app called Video Star installed, and it was like where you could lip sync to non-copyrighted tracks, like stuff like Perry Grip and those silly stuff. So every single time we came over to each other's house, we would do that. And through that, I learned like I could make my own music videos out of that, because the way it works is it plays the music and then records you at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, it's the process of making a music video, and you can slow down how fast it records you by a certain amount. You can speed it up, and you can get a lot of cool effects out of it, and it's like completely free. And it's like, I could do real music videos now. Like I have the equipment and now Final Cut Pro that I could like use my camera and just do all that. But I've gotten so used to it, and it's just like, it's easier, but it also might even look better.
Yeah.
And it's literally just an app that I downloaded for free that I used to play around with when I was a kid.
What's the name of it again?
It's called Video Star.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean,
it's Apple exclusive, so I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what does it do? Like slow down the music, and so you're lip syncing to the music slower or something? Like, and then
Yeah, if I wasn't using the device for Zoom, I'd show you, but it's basically just the way that I use it is you can either choose from a list of songs, or you can choose from your Apple Music library, or you can choose from video. So I'll just export the song through iMovie or something with just black screen nothingness, and just use the audio. And then there's like settings, and you can like, there's a line and it's in the middle, and if you put it up, it records you at like faster speeds. It slows down the song, but everything is still synced up. And it like does all that for you. So really what I'm doing now in Final Cut Pro is I'm just cutting through each scene, because in my older music videos, when I didn't really know pretty much anything about doing music videos, it was actually one continuous take. And up until my Skater Boy cover with Neil, it was like one continuous take. And I would literally put the camera, I would pick out positions on my floor and put the camera in like those different positions in every single scene. So I'd stand there for 5 seconds and play that one part, and then it would end, because you can set a timer on the app. And I'd stand there, play that one part, I'd move the camera to the other position, play that one part, and it would be a continuous video looking like it was multiple shots edited together, but it was actually just me doing like 5-second interval shots. And it'd be like really long film days whenever I was filming a video, because I wouldn't just go all the way through. I'd go like 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, and just move the camera all over the place.
What? So you're like basically doing editing as you're shooting.
Kind of. That's what I used to do. You know, now for the new music videos, you'll see like, because the problem with that is if you cut in the middle, because I wouldn't do one shot. I do edited shot for the band and full shot for the singer. The problem with that is if you're doing one shot on one video, there's like random cuts and flashes where it's a different shot and then it switches to the other video, and it was ridiculous. So now I'm still using Video Star, but each shot is done fully through, and then I edit together in Final Cut Pro.
Okay. That, again, it's just like using what you have and figuring out your own way. I mean, everybody does that too, you know. It's just like,
totally, yeah.
You know, even people that are huge movie making professionals and stuff have their own, you know, they develop their own special techniques and all these different things that they do to achieve certain things. I mean, there's an app I use a lot still called Rare Vision VHS. And that's how I get a lot of those VHS looks in a lot of my videos, because I used to have an actual VHS camera that I used, but it was such a pain, you know, to like film everything and then capture it onto the computer. And truthfully, Rare Vision looks just as good. Huh?
Is that you with the ambulances?
Oh yeah,
sirens
it's New York. It's New York City. It happens in every single video I do. But what I was saying is that, you know, the app looked just as good, if not better, than the actual VHS. So I was like, why am I even bothering with this thing anymore? You know, like, so I just started using the app, and I have it installed on like all of my devices, so I could set up like multiple fake VHS cameras all around me if I want to, you know.
That's super cool. I like the vintage look, but it just, when I watch it, it feels wrong when it's just weirdly thrown in there. When it's like a full thing or like a full shot, it's cool, but like, just to me, when I'm filming, when I'm watching it, it's like, oh, that's super cool. But when I'm doing it, just no matter like where I put it, it just feels wrong to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. I have this one too I haven't used it in a video yet. I keep forgetting, but it does like old Super 8 film, and it does it like really accurately as well. But I haven't.
Cool.
At some point, I want to use that. Last
That'd
night.
be cool.
Oh, go ahead. You still there?
Me, yeah.
Oh, okay. It got silent for a second. Let's see if we have any comments here. Major Upgrade says subbed, and so did Cool Dude Banana subbed to you. So I think you got 200 already. You might.
Woo!
And Major Upgrade says, looks like some of my old discs I used to burn for myself. Talking about your CD. And then Rad Dude Mixtape, and these are all from Major Upgrade. Eminem writing lyrics on the subway or bus or whatever. That's crazy creative. I love that. I didn't read that fast enough to know which ones he was what things you said that he was talking about there, but a lot of positive praise though. So very cool.
That's awesome.
Now your album, it's coming out tonight at midnight on all the streaming services, right?
Yeah, for some reason, sometimes it's wacky with Apple Music, though. Last time it took them like, for some reason, it took them a week to put the one song on because it has to go through like processing. Yeah. But I uploaded it really early, so it should already be ready to go. So hopefully, if everything goes great, it'll be on all services by midnight, yeah. Yeah,
that happened with mine the last time as well, for some reason. Like, usually Spotify goes first, and then YouTube Music, and then Apple Music sometime in there, and then Deezer happens like 6 months later.
Really?
Because not that long, but it's later, and I don't know who listens to Deezer anyways. Like, I've never met a single person that uses that, but apparently somebody does.
I've only met one, and someone like messaged me and is like, "Is it going to be on Deezer?" And I'm like, "Probably. I don't know."
I think maybe more people use it in Europe or something, but I don't know. I don't even know if it's available here.
It's a cool looking app, though. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Which one do you use? Apple?
No, I use Spotify most of the time.
Yeah. I use both Spotify and Apple Music. The weird thing is, I don't know if why, like, I'm like this, but for some reason, if I'm on a long drive and Spotify, the fact that it has commercials, I almost like that. like, because it almost feels like I'm listening to the radio or something. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, it's like this break in music of like talking, and like, I don't know, it's strange. It's weird to say that I actually like the commercials, but I do. Not all the time, but just especially on long drives, because it breaks up like the monotony, you know.
My parents' thing is that they really hate cookies because my dad's kind of a conspiracy theorist and stuff. But I prefer them because when I'm listening to Spotify in the car and all the time, I'm getting like pop star ads, and I'd probably like them if they were more what I actually listen to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying Spotify should spy on you or anything, but I would prefer it if it had cookies. Just saying.
They don't use cookies on Spotify?
I don't. Well, I think
Yeah,
they
probably
kind
not.
of do it, not for ads.
Yeah, because I always get Taco Bell ads, and like, there's not even Taco Bell. Like, there's no Taco Bells in Brooklyn. Like, maybe there's one somewhere in like Greenpoint, but it's really kind of strange that we don't have, like, everywhere else in the U.S. there's Taco Bells. Like, you can throw a rock and you'll hit a Taco Bell, but in Brooklyn, there's no Taco Bells.
Same here. I've never actually seen a Taco Bell restaurant here, and I've never been to Taco Bell in my entire life.
Oh wow, no, in Florida they're everywhere. Like, you can seriously, like, you can look out the window and you'll see like 6 Taco Bells, just like one after another down the street.
That's like here, but with Tim Hortons.
Oh yeah, those are pretty good. The last time I was in Canada, I ate there a couple times. I like their breakfast.
Well, I gotta go to Dunkin' Donuts because apparently they're good.
Yeah, it's all right. I have one of those basically right outside, and it's okay. It's not the greatest, but it's all right.
The Tim Hortons I just had the other day, I had, what was it called? Like, it was like a bacon egg wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And all I was expecting was like bacon and eggs, and I got like cheese and eggs and bacon, and there was like I think there was some salad in there, but it worked though. And I was just surprised it was delicious.
That's awesome. It's funny, we're talking about breakfast sandwiches. You know, when actually a long time ago, when I used to be in bands that would travel, we would basically eat nothing but crappy food, you know, because you're on the road, and so you have to like stop and eat it wherever. But the one place you always end up eating a lot is, especially in the southern US, is Waffle House, because there's a lot of those, and they have these hash browns. They probably don't have those in Canada, do they? Waffle
Hash
House?
browns or Waffle House?
Waffle House.
No, I don't think I've ever seen a Waffle House in Canada.
Yeah, so like they have these hash browns, and like you can get them all these different ways. Like they have like scattered, smothered, covered, like, and so it's like with cheese and like onions and like all these different ways you can get them on. And like the Waffle House waitresses are always like, you know, how'd you like those, sugar? Scattered, smothered, like, you know, they always have like southern accents, and they're like, I don't know, it's one of those things that becomes a tradition when you're on the road. You're just stopping at Waffle House all the time, but it's like so greasy too. But let's see, we got some more comments.
We do.
Cool Dude Banana said, wait, let me go back up. I need to look at these more often.
Yeah. I'll like
there's
put
any
this
actual
up here.
questions here. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I'm just putting my computer up there so I can see when a new question comes in better. It was on my lap the entire time.
I think it's mostly just people talking to each other. And Tanner says, hi, Justin. Hey, Tanner. Tanner's one of my old drum students who I haven't seen in like a year because the school shut down because of the pandemic. But hopefully it's going to open back up soon, and Tanner will get back to learning some drums. That would be cool.
And now I'm excited to go on the road, maybe go to the US and get myself some Waffle House when COVID lets me tour again.
Yeah, absolutely. How have you played out much? Have you done like live shows that much?
No, we actually, like, okay, so as this new band, this Enbw solo thing, no, we played 2 shows, and that, like, the album release party, which is tomorrow at noon, but that's just me. But yeah, our first show was in October, and we actually had people there. We just did it in a garage on Halloween, and there were actual people that we, like, gained. Ready for this huge number? We got 4 people
Well, that's
yeah.
Hey man, I've played in actual clubs that had 4 people or less. I think I've played to 0 people before, so that's actually pretty good. Let's see.
I'm not joking about it. I was really happy about it because this was like a project that I'd been like hinting at, but I never really said that it's happening because I was really just like the side guy in a couple bands.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a great show though. Like for some reason my adrenaline didn't get kicked up as much, so I couldn't hit the best notes, but it went well. But our second show, which was December for like for my birthday show, I like to have birthday shows because they're like my favorite thing to do, and like we don't have kiddie parties anymore, so birthday shows. We did that one at like Moab Underground's place, and they're a band, local band near us. We did that one at Moab Underground's place, and I think it was really good. That time the adrenaline went up too much, and I couldn't focus on what I was doing.
Yeah, that can happen.
But yeah, it was fun. We ate pizza afterwards. So yeah, I think it's been a really positive project so far. And yeah, we haven't played a lot of shows, but we had some shows booked. We're going to play this festival in a town by us called Forge Fest. And it's big-ish. It's a festival that's held, I think it's actually like, it's 3 days, but it's at all different locations. So it's like restaurants all over the place, and they're like stage areas outside and stuff. And I was supposed to play there with my band Area 519. And then we also there's this bar in a town by us called the Back Alley. And there's this event that happens. Well, okay, so the story is I was signed. Technically, I was just paying this company. And this isn't a bad thing. Like it was a fun thing that I did, but I'm out of it now. There was this company that basically my parents paid for me to be in a band, and it was like the first band I've ever been in. I've been in it for 6 years, and they have this like benefit type donation thing towards their establishment where they play a bar, they rent out a bar and then they play it. So we had one of those booked. But yeah, we had a couple shows booked, and I was gonna be on TV our community television station, like Garth. But I completely missed all the due dates because 1, I was camping, and 2, my Instagram feed didn't update me, and there were no like notification things. So I completely missed that.
Oh, so that's kind of like a School of Rock type thing.
Yeah, the company thing.
Yeah. Those are cool. I mean, I think I'm fully in support of those kind of things. I think they're really cool.
Yeah, me too. It's like it was fun. And it was fun, but like once you get to a certain age, there's no control.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're in a band, you're in a friend group with an establishment that plays music. Like literally the thing that drove me off the edge, which I'm not saying anything against these guys. These are great. It was a great experience. It's just the thing that drove me off the edge was when he asked if a new member who was coming in, because we don't get to choose who our new members are. If they pay, they get in. Right? A new member was coming in, and he asked if he wanted to change the band name, and I'm like, okay, that's it. I have no control.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here because I'm somewhat a control freak, and that bothered me a lot. But but I took the drummer from that band, who's been my best friend for like, I think it's actually 11 years now, and now he's drumming at my live shows, so that's super fun.
Wow. So you guys known each other since you were really young.
Oh yeah, like we've known each other since kindergarten.
That's
he
awesome.
Just moved to a different town, but the School of Arts thing kept us friends and kept us seeing each other every week, and now we're doing the Enbw thing. So yeah. And I'm hoping to get him on the drums for whatever my next song is, and he's hoping for that too. So
nice. Let's read some more comments. We have Cool Dude Banana says, here in South Africa, we have a restaurant called Wimpy, and every time you go on holiday, you go there. Back on the restaurants thing. And then Major Upgrade says, wow, South Africa, that's awesome, dude. And then Cool Dude Banana says, yes, it is. And Major Upgrade asks you, Ian, if you skate.
Wow. I actually was planning to say this, But I just bought a skateboard. Actually, I don't skate yet, but I bought a skateboard. I think it was 2 days ago, and it's supposed to get here Monday. And yeah, so on Tuesday I'm gonna do some localish deliveries, and hopefully on Monday I can teach myself how to skateboard long enough to just go like a couple meters.
So what deliveries?
But yeah, I bought a skateboard. It's pretty cool. It literally, like, I told everybody who I showed it to that it screams me, like, if you know me. It literally is a skateboard, and the design on the back is white print with, like, black caution tape looking thing, and it says skateboard on it. And people are like, Ian,
in case you didn't know.
Yeah. I'm like, well, it's like driving around a Honda and then having the word car spray painted. And I'm like, that's me. It's cool. So yeah, bought a skateboard and I want to learn to skate. My main thing was like injuries and stuff.
Yeah, they suck.
I've never gotten a major injury, like ever. Like the worst I've gotten is I broke my toe when I was 6.
That's pretty bad.
And that makes me like super non-prone and like really cautious about whatever I do.
Yeah.
Because when I do get an injury, even if it's like a small one, like I stubbed my toe the other day really hard and it was like really bruising and I couldn't move it. It ended up being nothing, but I just felt like such a wimp because I didn't want to get up. So I'm like super cautious. And when I do get an injury, I feel like such a loser.
Well, so, the advantage of when you're young is you can actually take a fall to pavement and probably not get hurt. As an adult, when in your 40s, like you could have like seriously life-threatening issues, like if you take a fall like that. So you have to be like extra careful when you get older.
Yeah.
Vivi's Guitar asks, what would you define the main genre for your upcoming album?
Okay, so I would define it mostly pop punk, but there are some headbanging kind of on the edge of metal kind of songs in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly pop punk.
Yeah, I feel that pop punk is, I would say, your genre, which is good. It's very helpful to fit into a genre. Like, yeah. Because like that's been one of my biggest problems is like I just don't fit in any genre. Like I have like a million different things that I sound like, and from a marketing perspective, it's much easier if you do fit into some type of genre. You can be like, oh, I'm pop punk. Like it just makes things easier. Not that you have to, but like it's definitely a helpful thing. Anyway, let's see. Oh, well, the skating.
Someone just asked something about kickflips.
Let's see. Major upgrade. Let us know your progress on your channel. Learn ollies and kickflips. Yeah, that's something.
That's
you could
the
do.
thing with the injuries. I'm mostly just going to be using the skateboard to like, because the high school I go to is like fairly far away from where I live. It's like a 40-minute walk. So I'm like, I can just skateboard home because the way it works now in COVID is like the cafeterias are closed. So you basically just get kicked out of the school as soon as it ends, unless you have like some study hall work to do. You just get kicked out of school. So I'm just standing around town with my friends for like 2.5 hours. So I thought buying a skateboard would be like a way that I could get home faster if I wanted to get home. But I'm not planning on using it for any like kickflips because, like I said, I'm really non-accident prone and really cautious.
Well, skateboards aren't really the greatest form of transportation, honestly. They're okay, but a bicycle's much better too. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, like, because high school's so far away, I don't want to bike to school every single day. But with a skateboard, you can just like carry it around or fit in your backpack or whatever.
Yeah, very true. Here, like,
plus pop punk.
Oh yeah, it fits. Yeah. But you could also ride like one of those like freestyle BMX bikes. That's also pop punk.
True. Yeah. My bike right now is just a mountain bike.
Yeah, so that's not very pop punk. No. And it's blue, so it's like blue, yellow, and red. Yeah. You need like one of the low like BMX style bikes, and then you're full blown pop punk. Whatever. I'm just being stupid. Major upgrade. Oh, I read that already. Okay, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Is there anything I'm forgetting to ask, which I do a lot? So how many songs? How many songs are on the album?
Okay, so there's 12 songs, and if you didn't you guys didn't make the little intro thing, the set list was there. And yeah, there's 12 songs. They're each, I think, a bit like 2.5 minutes long, but I think there's like a 4-minute and 3-minute song stuck in there.
Okay.
So the album itself is about I can't remember the last time I checked, but I think it was 38 or 42 minutes long, I think.
That's a good length. Do you want to play the song now? The one we have queued up?
Oh, sure, yeah. For sure, yeah.
All right, let's go ahead.
Can I explain it real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so like most of the songs on the album, oh shoot, Baby's guitar just joined. Well, she just asked something 1 second.
Yeah.
What was the process for recording this album? What inspired the process? Inspiring the process, I'll dive a little bit deeper on my speech in the album release party on this, but basically I have dated the same girl up until this year, every single year of my grade school career, and it was just the same girl and the same story, and a lot of things happened there. So all these songs really are inspired by our long relationship, but there's obviously some things that I just put in to make people laugh and stuff, but yeah, most of it is just inspired by, well, girls, because it's called What Have You Done to Me? Merch not available yet, but it will be tomorrow. Sorry for the plug.
You're here to plug, so plug away.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Merch.
Yeah. And where are they going to be able to get it?
They're going to be able to get it at teespring.com. I think it's /ENBW, but I'm not 100% sure. Or you can just search my name, ENBW, go to the Google Sites page, merchandise page tomorrow. It's not up yet, but tomorrow, and there'll be like many links and stuff for you to click if you want the products and stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And also Ian's Instagram is down in the description down below, so you guys can follow him there too, and YouTube. All right, let's go ahead and play the song. Well, why don't you finish your intro to it first?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so basically this song is about when I was not over this person that I'm not going to name. And basically I saw she joined TikTok, and then we got back together, and she was kind of into TikTok a lot. And yeah, so the song's written about her and what would happen if I stuck to that for my almost entire life.
And what's the name of the song?
It's called Lip Syncer.
Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm going to mute my mic while this is on, and it's going to be the other screen here, the break screen, and it's going to play the song. So this is Lip Syncer by Enbw, and we'll be back shortly after the song.
All right, I think I'm muting it right now.
I used to know her personally, but now she's always in front of her phone. And also she used to travel, but now she's always home. I don't even know why she likes it. I think it's just a waste of time. I'm glad she's having lots of fun, but now it's always showtime. 'Cause she's a lip syncer, and that's what she loves. Yeah, lip syncer, and it's getting pretty annoying. Lip syncer, and that stuff really blows. Yeah, lip syncer, and her videos are getting pretty annoying. We were spending time together, watching good old TV, but her phone said she got 15 likes, and that was more important than me. She's always making fake videos. I'm really freaking tired of it all. Don't know if I can put up with it. I wish she never pressed. Now she's a lip syncer, and that's what she loves. Yeah, lip sync good, and her videos are getting really annoying. Lip sync good, and that stuff really blows. Yeah, lip sync good, and her videos are not gonna lie, really annoying.
Okay, so we're back. And oh wait, let me unmute Ian. Okay, there he goes. All right, Ian, you should be back on now.
All right, cool. I saw a lot of positive feedback from that. I was scrolling over the comments that VV Guitar put in, and it just, I don't know why, for some reason it's like text speeching me, and it's just saying fire, 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 fire.
Yeah. No, it's great. The lyrics are awesome too. They're so, I mean, this is going to sound stupid coming from, I mean, to you probably, but like somebody my age, it's like they're so relevant, you know, to like the current times, which makes sense from somebody of the younger generation that would write lyrics that are more relevant than somebody my age. You know? But that's really cool. I mean, like, because, and what I mean is just like, you know, you're writing about TikTok and like just things people do now, you know, like people don't do the same things generally that they did, you know, for leisure time like 20 years ago. It's just a different world. And it's really, really interesting to me to hear that come out in music.
When I get a skateboard, I'm going to write about something that isn't relevant right now, and I'm going to write about riding a skateboard around town.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's my, like, that's actually, like, the thing that I'm most excited about getting a skateboard is riding a skate punk song.
Wait, Evernew says you're still muted. Who's still muted? Shouldn't be.
I don't know if it is because Major Upgrade just said right after that, haha, which means she heard whatever made her laugh.
Let me check on my phone.
Yeah.
Can check.
I'll check mine too.
And it's not playing.
Well, it looks good to me.
Okay. Well, if it looks good on your end, that's good enough. So the album, I mean, you mentioned before that you started playing when you were really young, so I'll take that to mean that your parents have been very supportive of you playing music. I can be safe to assume that, right?
Yeah, there's this like huge room that used to be my toy room when I was a kid, and they like, their plan was to like gut out the wall and make it a sliding door so we could put a pool table in here, but they've just been so supportive. Once I said I wanted to do music, they gave me the entire room as a studio, and like it's pretty big.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And they didn't gut out the wall or anything. They haven't like told me to change anything. Everything's just working out great. So yeah, they've been really supportive. They've come to all my shows. They were the 2 of the 4 people at the debut show.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my dad used to come a lot when I was young. But my parents were divorced, so my mom was in Florida, but my dad always used to come. So that was always really cool. I was always originally I was the young guy, like playing in bands and stuff. I started playing when I was, I think the first show I played, I was 10 or 11. I was really young. And I was always in bands with all my friends that were in the bands were always like in high school when I was still like in junior high and grade school and stuff. But eventually I kept aging and then became the old one. But let's see. Major.
Actually, looking at myself, I'm kind of old to myself because I don't even remember the shows that I used to play when I was a kid because it was like I was really young. Like I don't think it was before I started school, but it was shortly after that and it was part of this School of Rock thing too because it was like for little kids and stuff. I probably sounded terrible, but I got some cool pictures on my phone of me as a little kid on this giant drum set.
That's awesome. Sorry, I was getting my cable unstuck. Let's see. Oh, the muting thing was just talking about from when you first came back on. And then Major Upgrade says, Ian, you're writing about your life, man. That's the music, and that's real, and that endures. Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of half of it. It's my life, and then it's the story portion of it. I've taken a lot of it out of like how I write stuff. Songwriting, almost like I don't know if I'm as exposed to as much music as I should be, but I find that like the kind of writing I do is a lot like Gerard Way of MCR, not like music writing, but like songwriting. How it's like some real experiences and some fictional storytelling to like mix together and make this cool thing.
Yeah, that I mean that's like how authors write a lot of times, like fiction authors. They'll take real experiences and then embellish.
But unfortunately, this one over here, 2020 Worst Years of Our Lives, is all real.
Yeah.
Thanks to 2020.
Yeah. Well, and 2020 is now lingering into 2021. It's like, but I think things are on the upturn here. Hopefully, they seem like they are.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so James Solon Riot.
Don't worry, I butchered the names all the time.
Or did I stalk the right IG account? I am pleased to inform you that yes, I am Canadian, and you stalked the right one. So keep stalking.
Yep. Canada, Ontario, right? And then Ontario, New York City. Yeah. Definitely when things open back up again, and if I get the Demonic Sweaters band going, we'll have to come up there and play. I'd love to come to Canada.
I'd go. Toronto's not that far away. It's like, I think it's like 2.5 to 3 hours, so that's not bad at all. I'd go for sure, yeah.
Awesome.
If I'm old enough, if you're playing in a bar, I probably still won't be old enough.
Yeah, I'd like to play all ages shows. I think that's pretty important. Like I don't really like bar shows, honestly. They're like, because a lot of times, when you play a bar show, 99% of the time people are there just to drink, and they don't really care about the music that much. I mean, sometimes they do, but I don't know. Bar shows just aren't, they're usually not as good. The best shows are all ages.
Well, I kind of wouldn't know from experience, but I've seen some, I don't know, I've said a lot of the time, I don't know if this is true, and it might like slap me in the face when I get to it, but I feel like drunk people might be a little bit more fun to hang around with depending on who they are.
Depends.
And listening to music at the same, playing it, probably not, but like going to a concert at a bar, I don't know. It's on my bucket
it depends.
List.
It really depends. I would say generally drunk people are worse. I don't know. I think there was something changed. It's a strange thing though, like live shows. Sometime, I think, honestly, it was probably around 9/11. Everything kind of changed a little bit, and people became a lot more reserved, like out in shows and like concerts and stuff than they were before. I don't know if it was that. I mean, I think it's just the times changed. Because a lot of things kind of happened simultaneously where you had high-speed internet, all the security everywhere became greater and everything. But like before all of that, like when I was like 18, 19 years old and playing shows, most of those were all ages shows, and the crowds were rowdy. Like they were crazy, a lot of them. But then, well, and another thing that really changed it are phones. Because before people didn't have a phone to stare at the whole time, so like they were more in the present moment, like of what was around them, I think.
Yeah, well, that's been the argument with this, because now we're on the COVID thing, and all the shows we watch on our phone, we don't get the pleasure of looking up and being like, oh, there's the real band.
Yeah. But I'm not I'm not one of these guys that's like totally against all that stuff either, because obviously it's benefited me greatly, all this technology. And I'm all for playing online shows. I think they're cool, like, I do it all the time. But just, I think though, with the live stuff, but I don't know if it's just the combination of all those things. You have and people when they get really drunk are just super annoying. Like they don't really appreciate the music anymore. They just become annoying.
True.
And Evernui, I'm probably mispronouncing that, says drunk people are the worst. And also says, I like all ages shows seem to be more dancing and having fun. Yeah, I think I agree with that. They just seem to be more appreciative, a lot of times. And you have more variety of people too. It's not just like, one group of people there. And usually, I mean, there was there was a famous jazz musician, John Zorn, who, he's a famous free jazz musician from New York City. And, I mean, famous as a free jazz musician can become, but he used to have a club in the East Village called, what was that called? Shoot, it's escaping me now. The Stone, that's what it was. But it was like the purest form of a music venue you could possibly have. They had no refreshments. It was all ages. They had shows every night of the week. Unfortunately, it closed down because of the rents and everything down there. It just became too expensive. But it was like basically you'd show up, you'd pay $20, and then you get in, and you had seats, and it only held like 80 people or something. And like they'd have like experimental and jazz music every single night. And you could just go there and like you'd bring your own refreshments and you just watch awesome music. Like it was really cool.
Someone said something about Toronto. I'm just going to check that out real quick.
Okay.
All right. James, oh crap, I'm doing it again. James Solon Riot says, I live in Toronto. So cool to know. Toronto's great. I've only been there a couple times, mostly for shows, but it was great every single time I went. Pleased to be Canadian. Now I've heard it all. Everrooney.
Yeah, I had trouble with that one.
Yeah, we're just going to say Everrooney. If that's wrong, I'm sorry.
I say Evernui, but I don't know. Yeah, either one.
Both work. But yeah, proud to be Canadian.
Yeah, Toronto is a really cool city.
Yeah.
I like it there.
I'm in that place where it's like, we live in the country, but there's like a town closest to us. But we were talking about the other day that your block apparently has the same amount of people as my entire town.
Yeah. Probably more. Yeah, I would say it's probably more. Yeah. What did you say your population was? It was like 6,000 or something?
7,000.
That's insane. Yeah, 7,000 is nothing. But my block easily has more than 7,000 people. There's probably 7,000 people living, definitely within this block. I mean, there's probably 700 people that live in my apartment complex. Maybe not that
700 many. People. That is...
Maybe not that many. That's probably... I don't know, actually. It's a big building. Because it's really four buildings all kind of interconnected with each other. So it's pretty big.
4 buildings all interconnected with each other.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like super cool, but I'm thinking what I'm picturing in my head is definitely not what's happening.
It's like a fortress. It's like these 4 buildings, and then there's like entrances on each side, and then on the inside there's like this courtyard area, and it's all gated off from the outside world.
Oh, that actually sounds I don't think it's what I'm picturing in my head, but it sounds super cool.
Yeah, it sounds cooler than it is. It looks kind of crappy out there, actually. But it's all right. I mean, it's definitely, for the neighborhood, or for New York City, it's definitely a decent place. New York City's like, you lower your standards as far as what you consider to be comfortable. Just because everything's like so insanely crowded and everything. Like, if you want to get like a place where you live, the size, I mean, just by seeing the little bits and pieces that I've seen, I mean, I could tell it's pretty big. Like, something like that in New York City would, well, first off, it'd be impossible to find. You just wouldn't find anything that size. But if by some chance miracle you did, it'd be like several $1 million to have a place like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think ours is worth like $300,000.
Yeah, here it'd be like 5 mil, easy.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just the space, like there's just no space, and people keep filling up. And New York City, Manhattan's like what, like a 7-mile island or something. It's like not very big. So all this stuff is squeezed in this tiny little area, and that's why real estate becomes so expensive. And everybody wants to live here because the jobs. And yeah, that's what happens.
But you live in Florida at some point?
I did. That's where I moved from when I came here. I lived in St. Petersburg, Florida, which is a great little city, actually. I miss it, actually. I miss the weather. But, there's things in Florida that aren't so great. You have to drive everywhere, and some of the people down there are a little bit on the, I don't know, I don't want to be insulting, but on the less educated side of things, which tends to make them a little less open-minded to certain things. So, but not everybody. I mean, there's some really cool people down there. But I think in general, the general population of New York City is very liberal, I guess, and just open and, cool. They're just like, nobody's gonna like judge you for being you in New York City. It's just a very welcoming place, Let's see. Evernewy says old people. Well, actually, the old people of Florida are pretty cool. Like, most of the old people are pretty chill. It's just kind of the younger, I don't know. I don't want to get political, but we'll steer away from that. Yeah. Somebody said it on the screen. I'll just leave it there. Okay, so Tanner says I don't know what you mean by that, Tanner. Evernewy says it's on we. Should know that as a Canadian with all the French and whatnot, but it's good. I can't read. It means bored. I see. Ennui. Oh, okay. Ennui. Is that how you pronounce Evernewy? Ennui? Is that what he's trying to say, or she? Anyway.
Maybe. I'm only in grade 9 French right now, so I don't know if ennui means bored. I'm assuming it's not.
And Major Upgrade says, Justin, tech question, what's a good cheap set of headphones you recommend? Good and cheap. Well, that's...
I'm going to listen to this one.
These, I have to get them to remember the model. Hold on one second. These AKGs, these are Perception K44s. I don't think they're terribly expensive. I think they're like $30 or $40 or something. And these sound nice, and they've lasted me a really long time. I've had these for probably 5 or 6 years. And I usually use these on my electronic kit now. If you want, less than $100, then I would go with these then. These are great headphones. These Sony MDR 7506. These things sound amazing. And they're amazing for studio work, too, because they're not like the thing is, like, with headphones, what I look for is, like, I want ones that have a flat response. They don't have, too much bass or too much treble. Because if you have like, that's why you can't mix through things like, you know, like AirPods or Beats or anything like that, because those color the sound. They may sound good to some people, but you don't want anything that like adds extra frequencies. You want headphones that, I mean, if you're using them for mixing, though you shouldn't mix exclusively through headphones because that'll be weird too, but if you want some that will give you a good reference, get ones that are very flat response. And these Sonys sound really, really good as far as that goes. And these are decent too, these AKGs. My only problem with these is they don't, like, they're not as tight on your head. And they're kind of, they just, I don't know, kind of plastic and feel kind of cheap and stuff. But the Sonys are great. But both are decent. And I have a pair of Samson ones too, but I can't remember the name of those, and they're at the studio right now. And those also sound pretty good, but I don't think I like them as much as either of these.
Good to know.
And DBM Drum says, good job, man. And Evernewy made it long before people pronounced other people's screen names online. Major upgrade, 7506. Everyone seems to love or hate those. Yeah, I love them. Is that what these are? Is that what I just said? Yeah, the 7506. Well, do people hate them? I've never heard anybody that hates them. Evernewy says if you mix with a lot of bass, then when you listen without the headphones, it might sound like they're... Exactly. That happens... You know, and also that can happen if you mix too loud. If you have your speakers up too loud while you're mixing, the louder you're listening to something, the more it's going to make bass seem loud. So if you turn it down to like a medium volume is kind of the better way to mix. You don't want to be too quiet. Too quiet, you'll end up with too much bass. Too loud, you'll end up with not enough bass. So you want to be like right in the middle.
Good to know. Wish I knew that.
What's that?
Good to know. Wish I knew that for the album.
Well, it's a learning process. And I mean, it sounds good for, hearing the little bit that I heard. I think you did a good job.
Do you want to see the headphones that I use for anything?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me show you these. So, let me tell you about this thing my family's got called a Christmas gift exchange.
Nice. What are those?
So these are Turtle Beach Gamer headphones, and I bought them when I had a PS4 at the time, which I ended up pretty much getting conned out of to sell or to get a guitar for it, and the guitar is pretty bad. But anyway, yeah, so I just use Turtle Beach headphones for PS4 gamers. It's got the PS4 and Xbox settings. When I'm mixing, I like to do it at PS4. So that's my professional headphone set, but I will definitely think about picking up yours because they sound a lot better.
I would guess that those probably sound good, but they're probably coloring the sound, I would guess. Because a lot of gaming headsets even add like some kind of like 3D processing on them to give you more realistic games and stuff like that. And they have like weird stuff in there that, just makes them great for gaming, but probably not so great for mixing.
Well, it's great for listening, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and a lot of times those are, but let's see. We have your friend, yo Ian, it's me, Ruben, says MRM Crone. To you, Ian.
Oh, okay, yeah. Ruben, I was talking with him on my Instagram the other day. He's a really good guitar player.
Oh, cool. And Evernewy says, what size monitors do you use? Do you use monitors, Ian? Or you just mix through headphones?
No, apparently I've mixed this entire album through super colored headphones. Good to know.
Don't worry about it. It's all, like I said, it's a learning process, and for what it is, the pop punk sound, it sounds good. So it fits. The mix sounds good, and I think you did a good job.
Well, I will definitely get different headphones.
And then let's see. Yep, bassy. As far as monitors that I use some Tannoy PBM 6.5s, and they are seriously old school. But I love them. I've been using them for a really, really long time. And the thing is with these, well, they don't make them anymore, first off. But these were made, I think, in the 80s originally, or maybe even the 70s. And they were kind of like the poor man's Yamaha NS12. I think that's the model. So they're like, basically they're an unpowered monitor, even though the NS12 I think is powered. But so you have to use a little amplifier to power them. But they were consumer grade, but people started using them for mixing. And like they became kind of a popular, in the 80s and 90s, popular home recording studio mixing speaker. And so I started using those, and I just got really used to how they sound. And so like I'm good at mixing on these. And that's the thing too. It's like you get good at what you have. Like I don't like to change anything, because like once you know how something sounds really well, and like you can mix and like once you've done it enough times on the same equipment, then you tend to be able to do a good mix on that equipment. Like if somebody suddenly gave me some like really expensive like Genelix or some kind of, I think that's how you say it, some kind of really high-end studio monitor, I'd probably make a terrible mix because I wouldn't be used to how they sounded.
Well, I'm still shook by the fact that I've been using colored headphones. You got to send me these products, exactly what they're called on Instagram, because I really got to.
All right. But yeah, don't worry about it, man. It's like, it's what you have accomplished already is seriously impressive. And I mean it. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Major Upgrade says, it's all good, Ian. Use what you have. Better than not doing anything, and you're doing something, which is amazing. I've heard so much... Oh, Evernewy says, I've heard so much good stuff about the Yamaha NS speakers, but I also heard they're pretty fatiguing. What do you mean by that? Like they give you ear fatigue? And Major Upgrade says, keep creating, Ian. I look forward to seeing great things coming from you. Thanks for hosting this interview, Justin. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Thank you, Justin, for inviting me on here.
I'm glad to have you here, man.
It's great.
Really?
First time. This is the first time I've ever done an interview with like pretty much anybody ever.
Well, you're always doing streams and stuff on Instagram, and I knew you would be a great influencer interview because of just how charismatic you are on all of your social media, and just constantly putting stuff out there. So that's why I knew you would be a good guest.
I'm a very social person. Like I'll just the other day, I don't think I told people this on my Instagram, but I did post pictures. I was like walking around town and just handing out flyers to whoever, and I like almost said a different thing to every single person because I'm just so social. It doesn't bother me.
That's awesome.
It's just, I mean, like if there's people to talk to, why not talk to them?
Yeah. See, I was not like, I developed that later on in life. When I was your age, I didn't talk to anybody. Like I was like terrified to talk to people.
It was like that for some reason. Like, I don't know if it's just a thing that happens when you're younger, but like I was scared of people that were older than me that I didn't know, like strangers or whatever, or just teenagers that I saw every day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's just a normal thing for like kids and stuff. But now that I'm over that, I'm just like over the moon social.
No, I didn't break out of my shell until I was probably like 30. like it was, I was really a slow developer, like as far as that kind of stuff went. I just didn't have, I don't know. It's weird. It was strange.
It also might come from me. It also might come from me being an only child and like being at home all the time and having no one to talk to.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like burning for that or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe some people, especially in all of this pandemic stuff, there's a lot of people that have become more socially or social online, especially. Let's see.
Just-
MRM Crone says, I'm a very shy person. It's hard to talk to strangers. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
also, it's a two-way street because some people can make you uncomfortable. Like, I mean, there's some people I'm totally comfortable talking with, but then some people you try to talk to and it's just like, they just radiate like weirdness. And you're like, okay, got to get away from this guy, like, so it just depends on the person,
Yeah.
Let's see. Oops. Oh, sorry, M. Crone. I just deleted one of your messages by accident. It said held for review, and I meant to click publish, and then I accidentally deleted it. So you might have to type that again. I don't remember what it said. But I've done that several times. So geez, we've already gone like an hour and a half.
Wow.
So almost an hour and 22 minutes. Do you want to? Anybody else have any questions out there for Ian? Or for me? More for Ian, but... Well, so what are you planning to do next, Ian?
Okay, so fun stuff. There's 2 music videos that are coming out tomorrow, or no, technically, okay. I like to refer to midnight as tonight, but technically it's tomorrow. So I guess at midnight, just midnight, in a certain amount of hours, 2 music videos are coming out, and those ones are just songs that I like, and I came up with ideas to make a music video for, and I think you'll like it. But for each month, this is my plan. I don't know if it's going to go well. I can't promise anything because it's 2021 and everything, but each month, at the end of the month, I'm going to check which one of the songs, other than the 2 that I've already done music videos, is doing the most good, like has the most amount of streams. And then I'll make a music video for that on the first month, and then the second month. And then I think the What Have You Done to Me trip's going to be over. I'm going to take a little bit of a break because 14 developing your own album, your brain's kind of exhausted.
You're not going to take a break.
Well, from releasing the stuff.
Yeah, but you're not going to take a break. I can
Probably
tell
not.
already. You're going to keep making stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll still be doing covers on Instagram because that's like one of the most fun things I do nowadays.
Yeah, well, I love
yeah.
the Skater Boy cover. That one really came out great.
Yeah, I actually just watched a video on how to avoid copyright strikes, and I did none of that. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen.
I think, like, yeah. I mean, it's weird. I don't understand, like, I mean, you can do a cover and it'll just monetize and give the money to the people who made the song, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what happens to make it become a copyright strike.
I feel like it might be like a repeated offense type thing, but I don't know because thankfully I don't have one.
Yeah, I've never gotten one, but I never even come close to risking it with covers or anything like that on my channel. But I know, like, there's a very famous YouTuber, what's the guy's name? Does a lot of music, Rick Beato. You've probably seen him. But he complained, about getting a copyright strike for some of his videos on there. But he does things, where he'll actually play, clips out of the original recording. So I think that's probably where that can happen more likely. I think a cover, Justin Bieber started off by doing covers on YouTube,
But like that was like back in the day.
That's true.
The video that I watched said that they like originally YouTube was like this Wild West place where you could do anything and everyone was ahead of the companies.
Yeah.
But now the companies are starting to get smarter and smarter and figure out what you're up to, and they've caught up.
Yeah, that's true. That was a long time ago.
It's not bad though. It's still fun to make covers, and people don't see them usually. It doesn't get blocked. And there's like apparently this website called like YouTube Cover Policy, and you can search up a cover and see what the artists think about it. I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking maybe that means it'll tell you if you're going to get a copyright strike from using it or a claim or nothing if they're fine with it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to really know. Like, that's the problem with this stuff is they don't like clearly state the rules anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's kind of the big problem why everybody is like, well, I guess it's okay, you know, because YouTube never clearly says, you know, and they're a lot of times their rules, and it's not just YouTube, it's all social media. The rules are very open to interpretation, you know?
Yeah, up until a year ago, I totally thought that you could use less than 30 seconds of a copyrighted song and they couldn't do anything about it.
And that's not true?
That's never been true. I don't think that's ever been true.
All right. Yeah, I didn't know, but let's see. M. Crone says that's 7 a.m. for me. And Evernewy says, I love Rick Beato. Everything he does is completely transformative, though. Rick Beato's copyright strikes are unjustified. I'm not sure if I agree. I'm sorry. I know I'm in totally the minority here, but if he's playing, okay, so hear me out. This is and I had this discussion with a musician friend of mine. Rick Beato became known for posting other people's music on YouTube. Like, that's the only reason why people know who he is. Nobody's would have gone into YouTube and searched Rick Beato, period. Like, before he started posting, like, what makes Van Halen great, what makes Aerosmith great, like all these, you know, music analyzation videos that he posts. So he owes, you know, the fact, like, the only reason why people even know who he is because of these other artists. You know what I'm saying? So to some extent, you know, like, I'm not saying I agree, you know, I definitely don't think he should get demonetized or his channel shut down or anything like that. But I can also see where it's like, kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, he does cool videos, but like I'm saying, like, nobody's going, if you go back, turn back the clock before he ever had a YouTube channel, you know, or had made any of those videos about these other artists, it's just the same. Nobody would have gone into YouTube and searched, you know, demonic sweaters. Like, I had to do it other ways. I had to start doing gear reviews and things like that because nobody knows who demonic sweaters is. Like, and same with nobody knew who Rick Beato was. You know what I mean? They found Rick Beato because they were searching Michael Jackson or they were searching Huey Lewis and the News or some well-known band. So that's kind of where I'm sort of on the fence about that. Yeah. And then
Someone said
Go ahead.
Someone said something about the lip syncer song. Here. The lip syncer song was great, man. This is DBM Drum says the lip syncer song was great, man. Loved the like references.
Yeah. Let's see. By the way, thanks for commenting on my songs, Justin. Oh yeah, you're welcome, man. Yeah, that's DBM Drums. You guys he does some drum covers on there, on his channel from India. And there was a cool song of him and his dad doing a cover. I believe it was a Phil Collins song. So you guys, everybody watching the stream, go check out DBM Drums YouTube channel as well.
Doing that now, Justin. Doing that now.
And Major Upgrade says, I like when Rick Beato does music stuff. I like him less when he complains about the copyright stuff. Yeah, that's my thing. Maybe if he didn't complain about it so much, that's where I start to get rubbed the wrong way. Because I'm like, you know, yeah, but you kind of built your career on the shoulders of others. You know, that's kind of like, I don't know, whatever. So in a way, it's kind of like, I kind of see their point, you know, like, especially like, okay, say like maybe, I don't know who it was that he got the last copyright strike from, but let's say it was Lindsey Buckingham. I don't know if that's who it was, but let's say it was Lindsey Buckingham. Let's say Lindsey Buckingham released an album a couple of months ago. Rick Beato's latest video about Lindsey Buckingham got 7 million views. Lindsey Buckingham's newest song got 8,000 views, you know? So I can see why an artist like that might be upset about something like that and why they would want to enforce that copyright strike. Because here's this guy that basically built a career about talking about other people who are getting less attention than the guy talking about them. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, M. Crone says, I want to get a good audio interface. What's a good audio interface? Well, there's a lot. I think almost anything you buy is going to be decent, with the one exception is the, what's that thing? The brand, the model is called the Audio Box. It's not Focusrite. It's, what's the other one? Maybe it is Focusrite.
Behringer?
No, the Behringer ones are good.
Really? I've read some reviews for them, and apparently they're terrible.
No, they're all great. I use a Behringer one at the studio. The only one I've ever had an issue with is that Audio Box thing. I can't remember the manufacturer, but it was terrible. Like, the levels just peaked out at, like, even the slightest, like, any drum would, like, blow out the levels in that thing. You could not get a clean recording with it, because it was just so overloaded. Like, the gain was already set to like 9, even at the lowest setting. Like, it was crazy. But here I have an Alesis, I have a Behringer. Actually, I have 2 Alesis now. I just bought another little version of the one that I have. It's like an old one that I like a lot. The Alesis IO ones. They're discontinued, but you can find them. Focusrite Solo. Focusrite makes the Scarletts, right? Is that Focusrite?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are great.
They are. That's
yeah.
what I use.
Whatever it is, just don't buy the one called the Audio Box. I can't remember who makes it, but it's terrible. That's like literally the only one that I've ever had a serious problem with. The rest of them you can get working. And Behringer stuff, the only people that tear apart Behringer stuff, I don't know. There's some people out there that just think because it's cheap, it's bad. But if you've really ever worked with Behringer equipment, it's all pretty solid, like pretty much all of it. I don't think I've ever had a really bad piece of Behringer gear. Like, their microphones are good for what they are. Interfaces are good for what they are. I've never had the headphones. But I've even had some of the mics, and the mics sounded good. You know, like, I don't know. They're very inexpensive, too. Behringer UM2, yeah, that's a good one. This one, oh, it's so funny. Look, I just got a notification. You know how we were talking about how some streaming services take a long time? Well, so my Manasota album, As the Sun Rises, that came out months ago, just now got added to Tencent. Tencent? Tencent? I think that's a Chinese thing. But yeah, literally just now. It's been like 3 months.
Wow.
So do you use DistroKid to get your stuff online?
No, I've been thinking about it, but since I released my first song off of Amuse, I'm sticking with Amuse, because if I switch to DistroKid, then some of the accounts that come off the music, then I'll have like 2 different topic pages on YouTube and Spotify and everything.
Yeah, I don't think it should matter too much. I have multiple companies, and like they all still show
up.
But
when we get like, because right now I just joined this band called Hollow Nerves, and we're like alternative, almost like 21 Pilots type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do that, we're probably going to use DistroKid, because it not sponsored by DistroKid, but I believe it's a little bit better of a service.
They're great, and they're really cool guys. Like, totally. DistroKid has been really good to me, and check that affiliate link down below. But yeah, they're really cool.
It's like $20 for a year, right?
Yeah, it's very affordable.
That's crazy. Like, it was like, what was it? It was like, oh crap. This one, it was like $80, I think, a year. But it was like really cheap monthly prices. So I went for the monthly price, and yeah, it was like $8 a month. And then like, for some reason, like $80 freaking dollars a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll never use the yearly membership.
Here's how much I like DistroKid, and this is a true story. I'm not just saying this. Like, I actually got offered a sponsorship by TuneCore as well, but I turned them down. Like, they were going to pay me to put their ads in my videos, but I turned them down because I was like, I already use DistroKid, and the reason why is because TuneCore, I think, is a total... this is like the opposite thing that they wanted, but it's like a total ripoff, because they charge you per album per year. So if you have like I was like, look, if I used you guys, because I have like 8 million albums, you know, like seriously, there's like 30 albums. I was like, if I used you guys and you were charging me like $39 per album, I'd be paying astronomical amounts of money per, like, why would I want to do that? That's like completely insane. And like, she had no like answer. I was like, well, then, you know, I can't endorse that. You know, that's just not a good deal. So,
Yeah, we actually used, well, my friend Logan, who was the guitarist for a band I was in called Area 519, actually just recently broke up, very sad. But anyway, he used TuneCore to do our first and now last album, just the beginning. And it he did like, it was like, what was it? It was like $40 to get it out distributed.
Yeah.
And like $60 to master all the tracks. And
then you have to pay annually. Every year you have to pay again.
It was like, and we like, it costs so much to make that we haven't even made a profit yet. It's been out for a long time and it's still like a good amount of people are streaming it, and it has a lot of streams right now as far as I know. Like one of our lowest songs has like 3,000, which is amazing for us.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good, actually, on streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we got like, it was crazy. Look, just now I'm just like praising my other bands. Logan's an amazing guitarist, and he got noticed by this band called they're gonna hate me if I don't remember the name. Cleopatrick, I think it is. Yeah, Cleopatrick. And they're pretty big in Ontario, and he covered their song with his dad, and then like basically it just blew up.
Oh, cool.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Now what was
I talking about again? Oh yeah.
Well, we were talking about the streaming services to get your music on the streaming services. The other one that if you want to do it totally for free is Root Note. And I have about half of my stuff, well actually a lot. There's a lot going through Root Note because I always used them before I found out about DistroKid. But Root Note, the way that it works is you pay nothing, but they keep 20% of anything you make. So, which really isn't that bad. You know, if you're paying nothing, that's actually pretty good, and it never costs anything. So, like, if you're just want to get the stuff out there and don't pay, Root Note's a good one to use. They're a little slower and not as easy to use as DistroKid, but they're still pretty good. I've been using them for years as well, and I also have a link. I also have an affiliate link for them down below. Got to plug those affiliate links.
Amuse is like it's got a free version and like a pro version. Mm-hmm. So for this album, I've been on the pro version so that everything just gets there quickly and everything's not like different times or whatever. But for the 2020 song, I used the free version of Amuse, and then I threw it on this thing that my friend Bryce told me about, and it's called Sound Drop, and it's like completely free too. And I just used that to put it on Instagram Music and Facebook Music and all the other stuff that Amuse didn't give me. So basically, I've made, and I don't even think you can make music or make money off of Instagram and Facebook Music. So really, they're not taking any of my cuts, and I didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't make money off of streaming music, period. I mean,
true, yeah.
You can make like $20, you know, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not how you're going to make money as a musician. I mean, it's just not.
Yeah. Do you know how you do though?
Well,
Sometimes.
Yeah, through affiliate marketing, licensing, things like that, sponsorship. That's how you do it. So the more what you're doing right now and that merch for sure. But if you keep doing what you're doing and you keep building, like, opportunities will present themselves. So you just have to keep doing it. It just takes time to get going. Let's see. M. Crone says, I'm in a metal band. Cool. I like metal. Major upgrade, work hard / suck less. Very true. When I have drum students and they're like, how do you do this and that? I'm like, you do it over and over again. That's the key. Like, the secret is just repeating actions like a billion times until like you can't move your arm anymore. You know, that's how you do it. It's just like you just keep, you know, and it is true. Some people will pick up things faster than others, but it doesn't really matter because if you just stick at it, you'll get as good. You know, it just really just, I don't know. That's really all there is to it. That's the secret. Just practice and keep doing it. DBM Drum says, oh man, I wish I had a good internet connection. Video looks a bit off too. Well, maybe if you go back later, once YouTube, you know, records it and rebroadcasts it, you can select 480p or whatever, and it'll look better. Let's see. M. Crone says, I just kicked out a bandmate of mine because he's an a-hole. He literally decides what I need to wear. He hates when I buy a new guitar or when I'm getting a new guitar, Fender Telecaster. Well, whatever. And DBM Drum says, I have a Focusrite Solo Scarlett 2i2 audio interface. My friends had a Behringer Euphoria 2, works like a charm. Yeah, the one I have at the studio is the Euphoria 4, the 404 HD. And it's good because you can do 4 inputs at once. Evernui, I bet you stream on Twitch consistently, you can make a decent living. I actually think Twitch would be harder. Because Twitch, you don't have any monetization right through Twitch. You have to get everything through people like giving you bits or whatever that is. You know, I don't know. I don't use Twitch that much, but it's it's more direct with the fans. Like basically, it's like the fans have to pay you. Whereas in YouTube, nobody has to pay you directly. Advertisers pay you because you get monetization and stuff like that. But Twitch doesn't work that way.
So Justin,
yes,
I just got a notification on my phone that says it is now at below 20% battery. So can I just do like a quick recap and then I gotta go because it's gonna die soon.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're getting at that time anyways. So let's wrap it up.
Okay, so yeah, I made an album. You can pick up some merch tomorrow. It'll be on my website. You can just search my name. It's Enbw, IAN, capital B, capital W, or uncapital, doesn't matter. There'll be physical copies, although there's only a certain amount because I'm not rich and I can't buy that many CDs. And yeah, there'll be 2 music videos on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is also just Enbw. It's simple.
And link is in the description.
Yeah, links in the description too. Affiliate links, click them.
Well, your link. I mean, the link to your YouTube.
Yeah. And yeah, album release party Saturday at noon, and it comes out tonight at midnight. I hope to see you guys at the release party tomorrow. Oh, it'll be live on my YouTube channel, by the way.
Sweet.
At noon tomorrow.
Awesome.
So cool.
All right, Ian.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming by. You're a really great guest. And everybody check out his stuff. Like I said, the links, and subscribe to his YouTube channel if you haven't already. And check out Ian's album coming out tonight at midnight.
All right. See you, Justin.
All right, Ian. Take care. All right, guys. So let me just go on here and see if there's any more questions. DBM Drum says, 10 cents, that company which makes, if I'm not wrong, they make sounds for anime games. Mostly Bandai Namco platform ones. Yeah, I think they're like, something like that. It's a Chinese, I think they're a Chinese company, streaming company or something. Evernui says bits are a scam. Most people usually do donations through PayPal. But yeah, I think that would be, I mean, not to say that some Twitch streamers don't make a ton of money. They do. But, you have to, I think it'd be harder to, I mean, I guess it just depends, because I'm not a gamer. So, I mean, maybe for some people it'd be easier than YouTube and other people wouldn't be. So, I don't know. MRM Crone, bye. See ya. And definitely not traditional metal guitar, though, says Evernui. So, anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to head out of here, too. We're coming up on an hour and 46 minutes. And it was a good stream today. So, happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell icon. Check out my links too, demonicsweaters.com. Oh, I forgot to, well, I guess I might as well plug this real quick. I have a new website as well, even though it's not on the screen or it's not in any of the links, but it's just alternativedrummer.com. And I lucked out with that domain name. I think it's a good one, alternativedrummer.com. Check that out. New website. It's going to be a website all about drummers who use hybrid drum sets, micro kits, electronic sets, things like that, and just kind of profiles on these different kits and little bits of information. There's a few posts up there right now. Not a ton of them, but there's 3 or 4 up there already. So check that out, alternativedrummer.com. There'll be more on that in later videos coming up, but I'm going to slowly build it up. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and have a great day. See ya.